Hello and welcome back to Technobabylon. So, this is quite a mess. Check it out. You can't find anything on her body that isn't an item of fashion. Well, at least she's dead. Bodyguard?
Nothing on it I can use. I'm not exactly equipped to repair synthetics.
Oh, it was a synthetic?
Mr. Stepford, can I have a moment?
Oh my, yes.
Investigation. Do you have any clues?
I've started my investigation of the bombing.
Oh my, yes. I can assure you I had no part in this terrible tragedy.
I hear that a lot.
In fact, my core programming prevents me from harming a human being.
Huh, a synthetic. I guess you'd be the only one leaving lubricant oil instead of DNA evidence.
Oh my, no, Dr. Regis. My outer dermis is organic tissue. It's top of the line, patterned from my creator, Dr. Latha Stepford.
Huh. I've been learning a lot about synths these past few days. So, you have DNA?
Indeed, it's delightful skin, don't you think?
Sure.
I go to great pains to keep it moisturized.
What about the guards? I guess they are your guards.
Could the guards have arranged the bombing? They're obviously synthetics, but I imagine they're more comfortable with hurting people.
They would not be worth much as protection otherwise, oh my no. But each security platform maintains a constant connection to my own systems. Their degree of independence is limited.
So if one of them were responsible, I'd have to consider you complicit.
Oh my, yes.
Were you aware that this establishment serves human meat?
Oh my, yes. It's delightfully macabre, isn't it? I'm sure the experience would be enhanced by being able to eat, of course.
You don't eat?
Some models can simulate digestion, but this platform is unable to. Go on, Dr. Regis. Try something for me.
I'll pass. I'll get back to you.
Oh my, yes.
Alright, Nina, spill the beans. We need to know everything.
Nina.
Charlie, how can I help?
I love how they just think like, I'm just gonna be on board with them. Like, hell yeah. He covered up some cameras, complained about Central. He's gonna be completely fine with our evil plan to take over the world. So about the conspiracy.
This plot of yours.
You want to bring down Central?
You want to bring down Central. You realize how crazy that sounds, right? You helped make it.
Yes and no. To everyone else here, Central is an obstacle that needs removing. I wish to liberate Central, to unlock its full potential.
Oh, Lord, you don't mean.
You and I alone understand what it's capable of. I want greater things for it than mere civic management.
What do you get out of it? I don't care your word choice of liberate. I want to know exactly what you want to do.
What's in it for you? There must be some kind of payoff.
Is it so unbelievable that I'd be doing something for the greater good of mankind?
Yes, I know you.
You knew me 20 years ago. I've had quite an epiphany since then.
I'll believe it when I see it.
How could you even liberate Central?
How would you liberate Central? What does that even mean?
I've spent the last 20 years researching Central's development. I've built up a network of contacts and I've done a lot of favors. Everything I need is available and moving into place.
But how?
Leave that to me. For now, just understand that we can help each other. Help me out and I'll get you all the aid you need with your legacy.
I don't give a shit about the embryos! Come on, people! Can you just get it into your thick skulls? If I want a kid, I'll adopt or something like that. Anyhow, I might be just too old to have a small kid. Or maybe I just don't have the energy for it anymore. Look like I might, maybe in my, well, at least in the 50s. So, might as well just adopt a small kid. Not a baby. Just a small kid. Also, I'm not a woman, so not sure how would they grow up. I mean, just the whole process of anyhow. So what about Dean?
You got a city councilor on your side.
Councillor Dean is a good man. He objects to the gradual encroachment Central has made on Newton's governance.
Do you trust him?
More than anyone else here. He may be a politician, but his goals are noble.
Can you be sure?
The governor and his brain's a good start. He's physically incapable of deceit. Plus, he's got a whole lot of enemies.
So, a sign that he's tried to change something.
A modern-day Woodrow Wilson.
By the way, that thing on his head, that doesn't convince me at all. You can just buy one like that and tape it on your head and have the LEDs glow. I'm like, what the hell? Will anyone be able to tell the difference? No. I can just say that I have a chip in my brain that restricts me from lying, and no one will be able to tell. Or maybe I just, I don't know, tape a LED on my forehead and say that prevents. Oh, come on, it's fucking bullshit. I'm not buying his can never lie, or his intentions. Or maybe even he just wants to remove Central. Come on, really? These people are the ones you're going with? The Han guy who's standing over here? No, it's not Han. How is he called? I don't know. He has his last name is Man. Councilman Dean?
You got a city council.
Councillor Dean is a good man. He objects to the gradual encroachment Central has made on Newton's governance.
Do you trust him?
More than anyone else here. He may be a politician, but his goals are noble.
Can you be sure?
The governor and his brain's a good start. He's physically incapable of deceit. Plus, he's got a whole lot of enemies.
So, a sign that he's tried to change something.
A modern-day Woodrow Wilson.
Alright. We just had to hear about it again. So, actually, as I said, I trust an AI more to govern than I trust man. A well set up AI, just trying to do the best it can for all of mankind. Like, not for personal reasons. And not stupid shit. Just everybody. Looks like this Newton is a pretty free city, so. What about that dead meat over there?
So, Imogen something.
Exactly.
Imogen Natalia Revilla Quintanilla de Flores.
Does it matter
Yeah.
now?
How is someone like that on your team?
It's a terrible shame. She likely wasn't aware of what she was getting into.
Then why was she here?
She gave the impression of a vacant socialite, but she was smarter than she looked. Make no mistake, if any of us were to be lost, it's her that I'll miss the most.
You used her, Nina.
We're all users here, Charlie. It's how we got where we are, even dear Imogen.
Round Showman. Come on, why not W? Ran Showman. Showman.
Ran Shuman. Chinese?
Nearly. Greater Han Republic. Mr. Ran operates one of the largest manufacturing dynasties in Asia.
Completely putting aside his politics, of course.
Of course. If I need something made, I speak to Mr. Ran. Trust me, this project needs a lot of specialized capital.
We'll see how nice he is if you get your way, and get Central out of the picture.
Hey, what about Stepford?
Stepford's an unusual man, isn't he?
That's one way of putting it. Don't discount him, though. He's smarter than he looks.
I get the feeling a lot of his behavior's an act. Constructed.
You have no idea how close you are with that. He's the one who found where your embryo snatcher's hiding, though.
He's a hacker?
You might say he has a mutual understanding with data systems.
Never mind.
Let's change the subject.
So, anything
This
else?
plot of yours.
Okay, never mind.
Let's change.
Investigation. No. Let's just check the investigation. Why were you looking for me?
How did you know to come looking for me? Were you spying on me? On Lao?
You wound me, Charlie. In fact, it was Gil's untimely demise that caught our attention.
Gil Vanderwall?
He was one of us, part of our cause as well. His death is unfortunate, but it signaled a much more serious crisis. It meant that we had to step up the timetable for our plan.
A more serious crisis.
Gil was the one who arranged the employment of a certain mindjacker. It was this thief's memory module that led to Gil's death.
Huh. He said he had information about it.
Indeed, he likely would have pointed you in the right direction. If he hadn't, well, I've already read the report you submitted to Central.
Hey.
But the biobomber? How did he? Well, let's just ask about that.
I guess I should thank you for not giving them the full picture.
What? That you might have been the one who made that poor young man? Think nothing of it, Charlie. That's what friends are there for. I hear you handled another one last night.
They're getting more and more frequent.
They're nearing their expiry date. Literally. I know they weren't engineered for long lives, just volatility. Their masters have to make use of them before illness diffuses them.
Oh, that's really fucked up. That actually makes me more accepting of Central's. Well, he called it euthanasia, but okay, let's murder whatever of the bomber. He was obviously a young man. Perhaps looked like early 20s, mid 20s, and yeah, that's really bad. About the explosion.
Don't you think we should move out? Cell aren't going to ignore a blast like that.
For a harmless little kitchen fire, they won't come.
Kitchen fire? What do you...
They won't send anyone. It's all under control here. We've enough wheels greased at Cell to make sure there's an understanding. Oh, lighten up, Charlie. This is helping you. You can go on a mole hunt at Cell once your children are safe.
I don't give a shit about the embryos. Why the bombing?
Can you think of anyone who'd want to do this? Why recruit a suicide bomber for this?
Frankly, the main reason I can think of to hire someone for a job like this, hypothetically speaking, of course, would be if one were unable to carry it out oneself.
Can you think of a likely saboteur?
I have my suspicions, but we depend on you for the truth.
About the restaurant?
I've never heard of this place before.
Oh, it's very exclusive. We've reserved the entire venue for this meeting. It's famous among circles of the rich and famous for discretion and its unique menu.
What is it? Italian?
Actually, the choice is mostly human.
A restaurant serves people?
This restaurant serves people?
Absolutely. It's quite a niche, isn't it?
It's...
Oh, calm down, Charlie. It's all cloned tissue. Nothing illegal's taking place. Well, not with the food, at least.
But why would anyone?
In an increasingly permissive world, it's the ultimate taboo. Join us if you want to, Charlie. Don't worry, I shan't judge you.
What's the point? I'm just so tired of chicken and pork. I'm just gonna eat humans. It's been a while.
You look well.
Thank you, Charlie. The private sector's been good to me. How have you been holding up?
I'd tell you, but I'm sure you've already done your research.
Apparently you still haven't gotten over Vicky.
You don't just get over something like that.
About the investigation?
I've started my investigation.
It sounds like we've got the right man for the job. I remember when you were so nervous, but now look at you.
It's been a long time. People change.
Even so, my mental image of you is sitting at a DNA sequencer. Perhaps a restaurant would let you use theirs.
Why would a restaurant need a sequencer?
It helps with their rather niche menu.
Okay. Thanks for the help.
I guess I should thank you. You were a lot of help in the factory.
Don't mention it. What are friends for, after all?
Huh. Of course, now I'm indebted to you for the assistance, aren't I?
Well, if you want to put it like that.
What do you do now?
What are you into these days? It's not organized crime, is it?
Not directly, no. Mostly I troubleshoot for clients regarding organic computing. It funds my own projects, one of which is the transmitter you drank.
How long is it going to be in my head?
Don't worry, it'll break down in a couple of weeks.
It's giving me a headache.
Nobody's reported side effects like that yet.
I'm not talking about the wetware.
Oh, ha. Droll as ever.
About you and Vargas?
I'm surprised you didn't stay on with Dr. Vargas. You were one of the only ones who stayed on to the end of the project.
Creating Central was one of the most rewarding ventures of my life.
I hear you kept the project on track after Vicky.
After we lost half the team, it was hard, but we persisted. We had a lucky break.
You didn't fancy joining Vargas in politics afterwards, then?
As a glorified caretaker? No. Eduardo and I had philosophical differences about Central's development. But as he was put in charge by the city council, I had to accept it or leave.
And now, you plan to take back what you created.
Precisely.
Done.
That's all.
Keep me informed, Charlie.
So what do you say about the bombing?
Dr. Regis, how can I help?
Investigation?
I've begun my investigation into the bombing.
If anyone can resolve this, it's you, Dr. Regis.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Counselor. I don't know how much closer I am to figuring out who's behind it, though.
Because of the pool of suspects, it might be better to think about exclusion. Perhaps you can find evidence to rule out those not involved.
Well, it wasn't me. And I sure as hell have no interest in your cause. So eat your man meat and I'm out.
Counselor, were you aware that this restaurant serves human meat?
Indeed. It's quite distasteful, don't you think? Still, I suppose it's a matter of personal taste since nobody's been hurt. We must respect the freedoms allowed by the laws of this city.
You're not having any, then?
Oh no, but I shan't judge anyone for it. They're quite whimsical about it in some ways. I heard good things about their Billy con carne.
Ugh. I'll get back to you, Counselor.
Anything I can do to help, Dr. Regis?
Hey asshole, let's talk. Run showman.
Mr. Ron.
What you want?
I want this restaurant.
Probably a stupid question, but did you know what they serve here?
Of course, it's people.
The idea of eating human meat appeals to you?
Absolutely. Is why I like to come to Newton. You have some crazy laws, but almost nowhere else will allow things like this.
It's cloned meat, apparently, so technically no harm done. That's the legal foundation.
A shame. Would rather eat real human. Ultimate sign of control of people.
Eat the poor.
Exactly. That will teach them.
Nice. I couldn't have put it better than that. So about my investigation.
I've started my investigation.
You find who tried to kill me.
Who tried to kill all of us, Mr. Ron?
This city dangerous. Police do lousy job.
Can you recall anything suspicious?
No. Stop asking stupid questions.
I'll get back to you.
Stop wasting my time.
Come on. I don't know about you, but I'd rather eat rich. You know? So, looks like we're done here and they just let us go. See you later, suckers. Your cause? Oh, come on, what is this? Investigation? Oh, CI splitter? CI splitter? Ooh. What can we? Oh, really? Right. So, Liam Stepford, 60 months old. This platform, business rep. He's 51, capitalist. He's 45, United Korea. Okay. Let's check around the place. Nice.
There's the remains of a first aid kit in here. Someone's used all of the med patches and pseudoderm spray. Must have had an injury. The only item left is a bottle of harsh-smelling toilet cleaner.
Well, take it.
Apparently, this mirror is having a software error. Before I came to Newton, that sentence wouldn't have made any sense to me.
Can we CI split the mirror?
It's got no personality.
Oh, right. We need a personality for that. Can we just go? Oh, the vent.
It's already been opened.
Yeah, you opened it. What? Oh. Tissue paper. Nice. Maybe that gives us something else. Nope. Maybe do some
What
toilet
am I, a
cleaning?
plumber?
Fine. Oh, sink? Lock it.
What am I?
No, you're not a plumber.
What am I?
Come on. This place. Darkness. You feel you feel around in the musty darkness, but can't identify anything helpful. So we might need a light here. Vent cover.
Ow! Whatever it is.
Okay. So someone, you briefly contemplate making an escape though, through the roof access, but then you lose your best lead.
Ow!
Okay. Well, actually going outside there wouldn't necessarily help us, but I would more consider that place as a way they got in. So, do you have a personality, Mr. Bodyguard?
Hey, who's that?
Nice. Guard. Well, fine. So we can't interact with this desk with a projection on it. Fishy tank? Seriously called fishy tank? Was it called fish tank and I called it fishy tank?
Ow! Hey!
What? Your attempt to grab one of the fish with your bare hands was unsuccessful. Apparently the creatures have a taste for your flesh and have left tooth marks to prove it. Oh, it's a fish tank. I just want to bandage my head though after all this. I cut it and managed to get bitten by piranhas? If they are piranhas. They're not really piranhas, they're glowing. Crazy. Kitchen? Oh, that's fucked up. Oh.
Hello? Huh. It's like someone just hit his off switch.
Interesting. But must you clone humans like that? That is kind of fucked up. Let's check the counter. Bone saw and glass jar? Oh, damn it. Can we just saw some bodies?
Oh, here goes.
Don't do it! You carve a slice from the cadaver. The nausea welling up reminds you why you went into genetic medicine rather than the macro scale. Yeah. Slice of meat, hell yeah! We can just cook that thing. Can we cook it? Throat chamber? What the hell? Rapid tissue growth sequencer. Current project, whatever. Transcription, whatever. Quickening underway. Apparently this is the genome sequence the restaurant uses to manufacture its main ingredient. All you can tell from this basic sequence map is that the bodies would be male and born without any brain activity. Fine. Purge. Okay. Sample tissue? How do we do that? Can I just put in that slice of meat? The meat from the cadavers shows the kind of results you would expect without looking too deeply into it. All you can tell is that the tissue is male. Oh, fine. So its transcription is underway. And we need to cut again. Or maybe... Yeah, fine. Maybe we need to grow a new Imogen? Jeff?
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm Dr. Regis. Nina's asked me to investigate the explosion.
A cell agent? Well, alright. Just be careful what you touch. This place is half kitchen, half lab.
Glowing fish? That bite me?
I like the glowing fish in the tank you've got.
Thanks. I made those myself. They were my first gengineering project.
Luciferin luciferase from fireflies.
Well spotted. I imported the sequence into red snappers and kept them viable. 10 generations now.
A lot of academies use those as a starter project, but that's impressive.
We keep them as a reminder of where we came from. Or, in case the power goes out.
Nice. What about the guard?
What's with the bouncer?
He came with Mr. Stepford's party, along with a few others. I think he was supposed to be guarding the kitchen, but...
What happened?
Well, he wasn't very talkative, but... After I started working, he just kind of zoned out. Couldn't get an answer out of him.
The meeting?
You get a lot of clandestine meetings like this taking place?
You'd be surprised. This place is popular with the wealthy. Haven't had an assassination before, though.
You know what they're discussing up there.
They don't tell me, and I don't ask about anything but their orders. Dr. Zhang pays me enough to know I probably shouldn't.
That's really smart. I wouldn't want to know. About the bodies? That's fucked up.
There are human bodies in your kitchen.
Yes, there are. It's a freezer. What are you, the food inspector?
Give me a good reason I shouldn't haul your ass down to cell.
It's all legal, I guarantee. They're annual clones, grown without brain tissue.
I know what it means. I guess the presentation was a shock.
Cloned?
Why is this restaurant serving cloned human tissue?
I trained in engineering at Darwin. We'd flash grow human bodies to test DNA alterations. So I guess human tissue is what I'm most familiar with.
Plus, it's a niche. It's weird. Rich will say like, hell yeah. So you're a engineer.
You're a engineer.
Well, I dropped out before my PhD. I learned enough to sample DNA and use it to grow flash clones.
No kidding. My background's in engineering as well. You altered these bodies?
None of these. They're all template. Caucasian, male, 20s, brown hair.
This is quite a setup you got.
This is quite the setup you've got. Combined sampler growth chamber?
That's right. We usually use the template. Sometimes get specialist orders, though.
Like if someone wants to eat themselves?
Sometimes. We can ready up a new cadaver in about a week with it.
I can't access cell at the moment. I might need to use your equipment.
Do you have to? You know you'd have to flush the current growth.
Sorry about that. Tell you what, Nina will reimburse you.
Well, okay.
Why food?
Going from engineering to catering, that's quite a switch.
Most of my family are cooks. They run a restaurant in Vietnam. When I was at med school, someone found out about my family. Dared me to make something out of human muscle tissue.
And?
And it turned out my human bolognese was really, really good. Not just being immodest or anything.
You said you dropped out. Is that why?
Yeah. Turns out the academy had regulations about improper disposal of remains. But now I had an idea, and I knew there'd be a market for it somewhere. My family are great chefs, and I can make human bodies. Bingo.
Tips on human meat?
What's your advice for cooking human meat?
Planning on going into competition with me? Well, you know how they say everything tastes like chicken? It's actually better if you treat human tissue like pork.
Like pork?
Yeah. Sausages, slices, filet. There's a lot you can do with it.
This is disgusting.
It's restaurants like this that make me glad everyone in this city just uses auto meals these days.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad. It's not harming anyone after all.
Something about it still doesn't feel right.
You probably don't feel nearly so angry talking to me as those auto mill personalities, right?
You have a point.
So about DNA sequencer?
Sequencer's a different model to my usual.
Cell's probably got something more impressive than that thing. You have to purge the current project before you can do anything. Then you can submit genetic material to start a new growth project.
What kind of material will it take?
Blood, dermal tissue, almost anything. Makes it easier to get a sample from customers.
Okay. Bomber waiter?
A suicide bomber attacked the gathering upstairs. He was disguised as one of your waiters.
Whoa. I wondered what that was. What did he look like?
Blonde, about 1.65 meters, might have looked uncomfortable or limping.
Huh. Biobomber?
That's right. How did you guess?
You mentioned the limp. They've got pretty serious health problems, don't they?
Yeah, he might have replaced one of your staff.
Huh. They all checked in.
If he incapacitated one of your staff, can you think of where they'd do that?
It'd have to be somewhere you could hide a body, I guess.
So. We need to get a glowing fish to see where the waiter is hidden near the toilet in the thingy. I'm just guessing. And we need to sequence Imogen's DNA.
Thanks.
Whatever I can do to help.
That is my guess. Anyhow, this is a good time to take a break, so hope you guys enjoyed and see you in the next one. And have a good one, guys.